What's up, everyone? We are back on Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C.
Man, Henry, you getting smaller and smaller every day. Every day you are getting smaller and smaller. What's going on, huh?
Oh
You're not
yeah,
eating
dude. But
rice no more?
well now we're a couple weeks away. Kush, training camp's going well. Obviously, if you didn't know, now you know. Today was my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, happy birthday. I can't just, if you was a girl, that's different. I sing the whole song, but boys got to go a little deeper and let you know happy birthday.
No, that's what's up. No, I appreciate it, Kush.
You know what's crazy? My phone was just sending me like alerts, and I got an alert. I'm like, dang, me and Henry really have been to a lot of like little spots together. We got a lot of pictures in a lot of places together. The picture that came up is, I don't know if you remember, is you and I with our belts out in ATL doing our thing. And
I
guess
remember
what we were
that.
doing in ATL?
Whoa, we were both champs at that time.
Yeah.
uh,
Nah, we were in ATL watching a fight, a middleweight title fight, interim title fight
yep,
between Kelvin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya. And
yep.
Henry, something special happened yesterday.
This is so good, man, because I'm really fucking tight with Kelvin, dude. Spoke to him yesterday about it, and it's ironic how life works. Kush, so check out the story. Obviously, Israel Adesanya and Calvin Gastelum got inducted for the 2019 battle, but check this out. Check out how life works, bro. Me and Calvin were supposed to watch the UFC fights last night, and nobody was trying to buy these fights. I just told Calvin, "Hey, Calvin, I'm just gonna watch it at home, bro. I'm cutting weight. I ain't trying to go to a bar. I ain't trying to get sick. I ain't trying to do any of that." And then Calvin decides to go just spend time with his mom. And when they went to go spend time with his mom, they were both watching TV, and they were able to see the whole highlight and see Calvin get inducted to the Hall of Fame, dude. So I called him like, literally probably 30 seconds after, and he picked up, dude, and his mom was just bawling. Obviously, Calvin was very sentimental. But I will say this, but just how life works, Kush. I was supposed to watch the fights with him. He wasn't supposed to go see it with his mom, and all of a sudden he's watching he's watching him get honored, dude, with his mom, and it's just funny how life works, dude. This fight was a banger. I know me and you. The camera was on me and you that day because obviously you're cheering for Israel. I was cheering for my boy KG. But man, this is to me Kamaru Usman, this is the greatest. This is the most competitive, the most. To me, this is probably the greatest fight of all time. Call me crazy, of all time.
I will call you crazy. Jeez. Listen, and you know what? It's subjective. Like, that's all subjective. You know how many times I've heard Dana say that? Oh, man, that's the greatest fight I've ever seen. And then 2 weeks later, oh, man, that's the greatest fight I've ever seen. Because you know what, Henry? This was a special year. That 2019, because I believe this fight happened April 2019. That was a very, very special year because 2019 is also when myself and Covington 1 happened. And so and that's the year that I won the title. And then a month later, Israel becomes the interim champion. So yeah, 2019 was very, very special. That was a very special moment because remember, even on the previews, we were talking about what is next for Israel Adesanya. And somebody said, you know what, let's go ahead and give him Kelvin Gastelum because the fight they had the first time was crazy. And I was like, what, Henry, what? Wait, where is Kelvin in the top 15? But this goes to show that it's those numbers really don't mean that much. That it's about the fight. Styles make fights, and certain guys get in a fight and they just decide, you know what, I'm gonna be a dog today. And that fight right there, I definitely put it on a very, very, very short list of greatest middleweight title fights ever, if not one of the greatest. So yeah, I give him that. But Henry, UFC 312 happened last night. Dricus du Plessis took on Sean Strickland, and it happened. It happened. Remember what we said at the beginning of me personally. I told you at the beginning of the fight I was gonna go with Dricus. Like you also picked Dricus to win. I said I would go with Dricus just because I didn't feel like Sean Strickland could get out of his own way enough to do what it took to win the fight. And it looked a lot like that. At first he didn't. He came out and he wasn't. Nothing was different. He was walking forward as he usually fights, and I would say though that the jab looked a little sharper from Sean Strickland. So I don't want to
Fucking
just
jab, really?
so I don't want to just take anything away from him. The jab looked sharper. He was throwing it with some conviction. Um, and he popped the right hand a couple of times, but I think in the third later rounds, once he broke his nose, it was a wrap. And yeah, Henry, I think we called this one
It's
right.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Sean Strickland wasn't ready for war, man. Like it seemed like he didn't want to take it there. Where you felt like that's the only place that he really had to take it there because Dricus in that first fight, it looked like he was kind of getting a little bit of tired in the fifth. But in this fight, man, Dricus' activity of him mixing everything with pressure and just pressure and activity and volume just was able to make a guy like Sean Strickland like hesitate like you wouldn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Strickland again, he fights everybody the same. I think if I'm a middleweight and I'm watching this fight, mix it with Sean, kick him, strike him. I mean, if there's one thing Dricus was doing very well. It was that side kick, bro. It wasn't doing enough. It wasn't doing crazy damage, but it was making him just hesitate. It's like, all right, man, what's coming? What's puzzling? And then him eventually throwing it a takedown in there as well. But this was an all out striking war, and Dricus just got the better end of the stick. I mean, I want to read you something that your boy Dean Thomas. We have to admit it. Sean Strickland is not the guy he says he is. We want him to be something. He wants to be something, but he's not the guy. He's not the guy who's going to go to death. He says to the death. He didn't go to the death. He didn't even go deep. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
woo! I mean, Dean Thomas. You started to sound
I
like
think
Triple C.
No, I think you could take that two ways. I think Sean, when the fight started, I think Sean had the intention of potentially building into it, which is one thing about him is Sean has. It looks like how he is when he's sparring. He has that one pace, but he slowly builds and builds, and he starts to slowly become a giant with as the fight goes on. If he's able to still stay in there, and I think that's kind of what the plan was. But once the nose got broken, I all that went out the window. So um, I think Dean Thomas is right, but I'm not going to be as harsh as saying that he doesn't want to go there. I do think in his head he believed that he would eventually get to that place. But and it's not just criticism on his part. Like the fight didn't look great on both parts. Let's just be honest. It didn't look great on both parts. We said that before this fight. We said that Dricus, what separated him, especially in that first fight, is his ability to potentially to mix up those takedowns like he was mixing it up. He didn't do that for the first three rounds of this fight, and the first two rounds were razor close, Henry, razor close to where it could have gone either way. So I don't want to just say that Sean looked bad. I think he had intentions of doing what he thought he could do in his head, but yeah, once that nose went, that was all she wrote.
Yeah, but other than that, man, like I said, hats off to Dricus. Brought the pressure, mixed the fighting from spinning back punches to kicks to the head to side kicks to eventually bringing in one takedown, but just bringing the pressure and doing that to Sean Strickland. Yeah, man, that's a hard one. I personally I never wanted to see this fight. I always felt like maybe Hamza
You
should have
did
been
say
in there,
that.
but
Yeah, you did say that.
it is what it is, dude. I think what's next for a guy like DDP? I'm gonna tell you what's next for a guy like DDP. It's Hanzat Chimaev And then once he beats Hamzat, if he does get passed through a guy like Hamzat Chimaev and Alex Pereira does get passed through Ankalaev, you got to set both of these guys up. And if you're asking me now, Kamaru, who is it? If we do see a match between Dricus, between DDP and Alex Pereira, even though I do believe that Pereira is going to beat Ankalaev, I'll definitely put my money with DDP. I think DDP stylistically is a problem, dude. And I know DDP is going to go in there and fucking wrestle. And I think with the grappling, I think that could be very problematic. But there's one thing that I will say is he will need to be careful because Alex Pereira does a really good job of countering, and there's a lot of little sloppy things that DDP does. But I think I'll put my strengths and his mixing of the fighting against a guy like Alex Pereira.
Okay, I have to say that I one thing that I noticed that DDP did really really well in this fight is just the kicks. Like was throwing kicks to the body, and they were fast. They were snappy kicks to the head. He caught Sean Strickland with that head kick. They were fast to the body, to the leg, to the. It looked really. His kicks looked really good. You could tell that he's worked on it. He spent some time there. So I want to definitely say props to him. He spent a lot of time there, and it paid off because they were keeping Sean off balance. Look at that beautiful kick to the body. But for him, what's next for DDP? I would say Hamza. From what I saw yesterday, it's there's still a big question mark on potentially two guys that I think have a great shot at maybe dethroning a guy like DDP. I do think if he fought a guy like Nasruddin Imavov the way that he fought Sean Strickland last night, I don't like that fight for DDP. I don't like it.
Really,
I don't. Yeah, I don't
really.
like that. When you just think about it, when you primarily stand up with, we saw how the stand up was with Israel. When you primarily just stand up with Nasruddin Imavov, I just, man, he might be the sharper guy besides Israel Adesanya right now with the striking in that division. So I mean, you've got Nasruddin Imavov, you've got Israel, and you've got, I mean, sharp hands. I would have to go also with Brandon Allen's really really good hands. So I think definitely I want to see those two fights first. Hamzat Chimaev, potentially Nasruddin Imavov, then potentially move up. Because at that point, yes, you can say I've gone through that top five in that division. Yeah, I deserve to move up. So it makes sense. But if it does move up, Henry, like you were saying, I don't know if I favor him against Alex Pereira. That's blasphemy. You
Yeah.
said that. That's
Yeah, no,
blasphemy.
no, no. But dude, I would not count this dude out, man, just because
I won't either.
stylistically. But I will say this about DDP is he understands the game, bro. He got on that mic. He says, "Is there anybody else that wants to-" like he's literally selling that fight, and fighters need to take notes of that because the most important piece after your fight, after you winning, is what do you do on the damn mic. And he says, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, "Hey man, Alex, is there anybody else that's left?" And he was looking at Alex Pereira. He respects him for the same reason why he wants to fight him. Congratulations to DDP. He put on a masterpiece. I personally think he gets. I personally think he beats up Hamza Chimaev. I don't think it's going to be easy to submit. I think DDP is scrambly, and I think his conditioning, bro. I mean, I'd want to put him up there, even like it's particularly this last fight. You want to kind of, maybe put him at maybe the top three, maybe greatest right now cardios in the UFC. Obviously, Marab is one, and then you can go 2, 3. But whatever it is, he looked freaking good, and he looked so good that fifth round where he was like, "Hey, I was able to go another 5 more rounds." I mean, this guy's ready, and this guy's going to be a problem at for anybody at 185 pounds. And I am excited to see this dude fight Hamzat. And if he beats a guy like Hamzat Chimaev, I would love for him to go up and then fight the winner of Alex Pereira and Ankalaev, or just fight Alex Pereira if he wins.
You said a lot there. You said a lot there. But I agree. Once if he's able to get through those two guys, I would like to see him uh, potentially fight Alex Pereira. But
And
and
what
he
about
did
your
say
what about your boy Israel? I mean, what's next for your boy Sean Strickland, dude?
for Sean Strickland, I mean, you've got Nasruddin Imavov, you've got Kyle Borralho. These are the up and coming guys now that are potentially looking to switch spots with those top guys in that division. And so
Can I
I
stop you right there though, Kamaru?
sure.
I, I don't like how a lot of these guys are becoming friends, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Boralio fucking training with Sean Strickland. Like, dude, you guys are right there to fight, dude. Like, why are these
Yeah,
guys
I
like
don't
kind
know.
of becoming
I
friends?
wouldn't say
I
they're
don't
becoming friends. I
like
wouldn't say they're
fuck,
friends. I
dude.
think
It's
it's
like I
I
think
wouldn't
it's
say they're
ridiculous,
friends. I
bro.
think it was just like, oh, you want to train? All right, pull up. Let's train. So I get a chance to use you. You get a chance to see me. So if we ever do get that chance to get it on, I know what it is. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that they're friends.
yeah. I
But
think
no, I
if
get what you're saying.
depending on how long the fight between him and Hamzat takes, if I would love to see Hamzat fight Imavov, dude. I think that would make perfect sense. Then you make a guy like Sean Strickland fight, Boralho. And because DDP even brought it up, he's like, for Sean Strickland, I would like to see him fight Israel Adesanya next. And I personally, Kamaru, I don't think that's a good fight for Israel. A guy that the guy that presses and the guy that throws straight punches, it could be problematic for him like it was that first fight. So I personally don't like that fight for Israel, but if they make it, shit, I'll watch it. But I think we got to see new faces, man.
I agree. I agree. That's why I'm saying, yeah, we probably, give guys like Kyle Baralio, and don't forget we have a middleweight main event coming up next week with a guy who's I think is a dark horse in the division, not being put in there. Doesn't have a number next to his name, but we're talking about RoboCop. I mean, Gregory Rodriguez is savage, and that's a guy that could definitely easily hop in there in that top five. So keep our eye out on that one. But Henry, moving on, co-main event of the evening, Zhang Wei Li taking on Tatiana Suarez. And Henry, if I told you anything, did I not tell you there was nothing yet that allows me to believe that Zhang Wei Li could not handle what was going to be brought her way? And she proved that with flying colors. I mean, it looked like, and I don't know what the situation was, but it looked like it didn't look good, Henry. Let me just say that it didn't look good. It didn't look good.
Fuck.
It didn't
Golly.
look good. I love
Jesus
Tatiana.
Christ.
I love Tatiana, but that didn't look great from
Yeah.
her, and
Well,
I know she's better than that.
yeah, well, you got to think about it too, man. Like Tatiana, like the opportunity was granted to her because, man, she's a really good fighter, dude. It's just that there is levels of being a mixed martial artist and just a wrestler and a
No,
grappler.
but no, Henry, no.
And I
I
think
won't allow you to do that to her.
And I
You
think
can't do that to
Tatiana,
her.
no, Tatiana needs to sharpen up her skills and particularly her striking and how to close a distance. No, but I have to, bro. Like for me, dude, I'll always have to be real, dude. Her grappling or whatnot, it was good, but if you don't understand that distance gates, fakes, and feints, you're just kind of like, and your distance was so far off than when she was shooting. I mean, she was shooting from way the hell from downtown, and that's just not good, man. I think Wei Lee, uh, man, if there's anything that I really kind of taught, and I'm gonna take credit for it, and she's even told me too, is her distance recognition. It's what we call borders, where we're not too hot, we're getting strike, or we're not too cold, we're losing opportunity, and that's the area that she was exactly at. Her fakes, her feints, and I think for Tatiana, she just has to get better, man. I think she should put a lot of that time that she has now, not so much in her wrestling or grappling no more, but could she understand the fake and the distance game in order for her to get her takedowns? Because she got that one takedown in round one, but other than that, dude, I don't know if she was really able to secure a lot of this stuff. And I think with Zhang Wei Li, I mean, she was just well rounded. All I mean, she was able to take her down, reverse her, knees, punches off the clinch. It just shows, bro, that we, like, as fighters do, we need much more than just a grappling aspect of it. And I think Jean Willie just showed that mixed martial arts is when you have the mixed martial arts background, dude, it's just so freaking hard to beat them. But what's next for a girl like Zhang Wei Li? You tell me, Kush. You say it.
Well, Henry, I hear what you're saying, and listen, coming
Am
into
I
this,
wrong? Am I
I gotta
wrong?
call you because you said you
Flag on the
started out.
play. Flag on
Yes,
the
flag.
play.
Because I remember you saying, and you can't, you on the preview you said Tatiana has a skill that is so dominant that it could nullify everything. You did say that,
Yeah.
and because of that skill, you were like, you know what? I'm not confident in picking anyone. And I told you there was nothing about Wei Li that doesn't lead me to believe that she can handle what's being brought to her. But just now, you said, "Oh, this opportunity was granted to Tatiana." No, Tatiana earned this. She finished three former champions, finished them with one skill, and it just looked like I don't know what was going on. I don't know what happened in camp. I don't know what happened in preparation because, as we know, things do happen, Henry. But she didn't want no parts of the striking because you and I know as wrestlers that was our skill. That helps us control the real estate, controls what's happening. But if that doesn't happen for us, we can't get those takedowns, and we're forced to stand. All right, you got to let them hang. You got to let them hang, and that doesn't apply here, but you gotta just go in there and
Pause. That's a fucking pause, bro.
that's a pause. That
That's a
doesn't
pause
apply.
and a half.
Pause. I'm saying that doesn't apply here, but
Unless they got
you just gotta
excessive skin, bro. I don't know
you just
what you meant by that,
pause.
dude.
Pause. But you just gotta knuckle up and you just gotta go make it happen. And it looked like the Tatiana's corner was telling her, "Hey, let's just go make it happen. Let's go make it happen. Stand with her if you have to. Stand with her because maybe that'll give an opportunity for potentially to get that takedown again." And she just for some reason she hit that wall and she just didn't want any part of that stand up, and she kept going to the takedowns, which she was getting kind of thrown around at one point by Zhang Wei Li. So it's a fantastic fight. And Henry, I do agree. I think what's next for Zhang Wei Li, why not let her move on up? There's really no clear cut contender right now for her. So why not move up? Move up
Yeah,
and,
dude, I
fight for that
would.
title. So I love it. I like it. I like the idea.
Yeah, and Zhang Wei Li, she's a very dedicated human, bro. You have no idea how many hours of training this girl puts on. Like,
She's made for this
she's
fight.
like a Dagestani, bro. They eat, sleep, and shit fighting, dude. Like, it's just, it's what they all do. Is like they don't necessarily understand. But the question is how does she match up against a girl like Valentina Shevchenko, a girl who also has striking, who's bigger, who has wrestling, who's very diverse to me. You know, Zhang Wei Li and Valentina Shevchenko. I think that's the fight to see who is the pound for pound best female fighter in the world. I mean, I personally know these. I personally do believe that the speed advantage would probably go to Wei Li, but the grappling advantage, I'm gonna have to give it to Valentina. Valentina's clinch and her trips, dude, and she does certain things, dude. I'd probably give her the upper hand on that too. So
Did you not see Sean Wei Lee's inside trips? Did you not see how
and
the
I should and
reversal, the
I
hip?
should get credit for that. I taught her that shit. Dude, that's
Yo,
all we went over.
so you right now, you going against her right now
No,
because
I'm
and
not
this ain't
going
the
against
first
her.
time.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
Valentina is really good off the clinch, and
Yes,
she's
Valentina's a
really good with
savage.
leg tripping as well, and she's bigger.
Valentina's a savage, but I right now I don't put anything past Jean Wei Li. I think right now, pound for pound rankings, my female top four, I'm going number one, Jean Wei Li. Number two, I'm
Damn,
going Valentina
I
Shevchenko.
like
Number
that.
three, I'm going Kayla Harrison right now. So,
And then
and
number
then number
4.
four, I'm going the champion, Juliana Pena. So
Nah, dude. Okay,
that's
all
my
right. You
top
know
four.
what? I'll give you my top 4. I'm gonna agree with you. Zhang Wei Li,
Right,
Valentina Shevchenko,
right.
That Dakota chick, dude, from ATT, dude, she's fucking good, man. At
Over Kayla
125 pounds.
Harrison.
Yes. Yeah.
Over Kayla Harrison.
Yeah. Over Kayla Harrison. And then I'll put
Kayla Harrison.
and then
you
I'll
heard
put
him.
Kayla and then I put Kayla Harrison at number 4. How about that?
You heard the rankings, Kayla Harrison.
Dude, she's gonna fight me, dude. Stop instigating. I don't like talking shit to Kayla. She takes it, dude. She's such a competitor, bro. Like she'll straight up fight me, dude. She'll straight up
firing her up, and
the only reason why too is because she doesn't have a belt right now. You know?
Okay, I give it. I like him. I like it. Those aren't bad. But moving on. Yeah, I do think she moves up, and
then think about what I just said. Yeah. The top 4, 3 out of the top 4 are all going to be in the same weight class at 125 pounds, bro. There's a lot to be said about that, Kamaru. The best females in the fighters right now could be at 125 pounds.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I have no quorums with that at all. You know, you like that word? I threw that in there. I think I used it right. I'm not sure. I heard it, and I've been looking for a place to throw it in, you know. So let's see if it worked. But Henry, it was a good weekend of fights, and oh man, can't wait to see the result of the Super Bowl. But I will be watching Henry. Hopefully, you are watching too. But as always, my man, I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
And we are out. Yeah.